button, and that means I
And
see
you're
the
actually
record.
twice on my screen, Patrick. So
I am twice.
You're double dipping.
yeah.
Whoa. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So in the
And it looks
chat,
like we're recording right now. So
yep, I turned the recorder on, so otherwise I knew I would forget. So in the chat area, not the Q&A, but in the chat area, just can you let us know that you can hear and see us? Hear, see, can see. Okay, great. DOS, nope. Well, DOS can't. Oh, everything good. Okay. All right, good. So the purpose of today is we're gonna show you and present to you the PDF metadata and how powerful this is, and it's just another part of our metadata tools. The second purpose of this is for you guys to walk through the process that Richard and myself and JC did last week when online meeting platforms like this took place because we could not get and meet with everybody in person. So this is an experiment for me.
hey, Patrick, we got to get rid of one of these. Because you have two people in there, you're kind of getting a lot of feedback.
I only see one.
Just for shits and giggles, hit cam or mic off.
Okay, how about now?
Right click and mute. Oh, there you go. One of them, yeah, sounds off on one of them, so that works.
Okay, so no feedback now?
Talk again.
I am talking right now.
Okay, yeah, I don't hear any feedback now.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any feedback.
There
Okay, how about
was.
if I turn that cam off? Is there just one cam now?
Yeah.
Even better. Yep, one cam now.
Yep.
Okay. Good.
All right. I'll get out of your way.
I just see. No, you could stay. I mean, it's cool. Okay. So we're learning through this, and JC is really huge part of this whole process, and working with Clint and working with Ted Kabitis, and this was an experiment to save our ass, right? That's what it was. And so here's what we want to do today: have a little bit of fun. Justin, what are the rules of moving around to the tables and meeting and talking to people when we go into break here?
All right. So when the break happens, you're allowed 6 people at a table. So if there's 6 people there, you'll get denied. Because you can only go into one where there's at least one seat available, and each table only holds 6. To correspond in those tables, you must have your camera and mic on. You can just have your mic on and talk if
if you don't have a camera or whatever.
Well, yeah, somebody like Clint didn't put his makeup on. Maybe he doesn't want people to see him. But that's you can keep your camera off, but you can interact inside the tables. I was just having a fantastic conversation with Tony Peacock in Russia, and we're just sitting at the table talking to people. So you're missing part of the experience if you're sitting there without your camera and your mic on to be able to speak to the people, especially during a break. This is all about, and the reason that we brought this software in is to create relationships and to be able to foster friendships and some of those things that go on. So really make sure that you're doing that so you can take advantage of the software.
And the other thing that I do, Justin, is if you're sitting there and you're looking at the table view and you see everybody, and you're noticing that there's somebody sitting at a table because it's placed in, we don't know how it's placed, right?
Yeah, and actually we've had some issues in the past where it tried to place people onto a table that was full, and then they just bounced back. So right now there's plenty of room, and that shouldn't be an issue, but that's one of the things that we were technically struggling with. But yeah, it's been a really, really good platform, and it allows everybody to have those conversations.
So 2 things can go on here. as social butterflies, if you have room in your table and you see somebody sitting by themselves, you can click on them and send them a chat message.
Yep.
Say, come over to table 6, right? Or if you're sitting by yourself and you see a table that has an open room or chair, double click on that and go visit with them.
Yep.
Okay. So this whole experience is a test today. I think, Justin, for me, it's more a test of, do our people like this? Is this fun? Or do we just want to keep doing Zoom and go to webinars and presenting the same old way, or, having a little bit of fun with this environment while we're still going to learn and being able to, interact. I know there's people that are in this room right now that I've never talked to on Skype. I've never had a conversation with them on Skype. I've never done a video on Skype. I've never had that relationship with them.
Yep.
And so that's what I really want to have you guys take a look at. And so what we're going to do right now, instead of starting the presentation about megadata, in chat, do you guys want us to start, or would you guys like to have a little bit of time to experience moving around and chatting and get to meeting people? How many want to start? How many want to just take five minutes to? Okay, everybody wants to start. We have nobody in here that's a social butterfly. All right. Okay, So in that case, we're gonna make Richard, who is in here, share his screen, and he's going to then, when you see Richard's screen, in the top right hand corner of Richard is the full screen button, right? So that's what you want.
And
to
it should be displaying right now.
It is.
Yeah. So Justin, how do you go away and how do I go away?
Just turn off your camera, or turn off your camera and mic.
I've got them both off already, so I must be in here twice.
You're in there twice somehow.
All right. Well, learning experience. So anyway, click on the big screen button on the top right for Richard, and you'll not his face, but his presentation button.
You can expand that. Yeah, that's perfect. Good job, Patrick.
Right there. Okay.
Oops.
All right. So Richard, take the show away.
All right. Is there any place you would like to start?
Well, let's start by, asking where the thought process is. Once again, not in Q&A, but in chat, right? How many people think metadata is important? Yes or no? In chat, not questions. Chat, right? So what we're doing, everybody is yes. And so in some way, shape, or form, and we don't really know quantitatively in what proportion, but metadata is talked about by Google all the time. And if Richard were to pull up a screen that says, is metadata important? We see all kinds of, information about why it's important. And so that's why we developed the platform and the series of, and it's going to be rebranded as Metadata Factory. And it's going to have the SEO image factory. It's going to have the video metadata factory. It's going to have PDF factory in it. And whatever else we can find that we can research and use metadata in. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's all going to be in one platform. So if you're in, SEO image platform, it's all going to be converted to Metadata Factory, and all the platforms are going to be in the same place. Okay? Now, with that being said, because we have Mega Cloud Stacker, and the Mega Cloud Stacker is based on, what do you mean, Paul? PC or online? it's metadatafactory.com is what it's going to be when we convert it all. But with the, where was I? Richard, what was I saying? I lost train of thought.
You were talking about how we've got a couple of different tools, and they're all going to
get MegaCloud. Thanks, Badge. because we use the PDF in MegaCloud, and there is a itty bitty little metadata feature in there. But the reason that I came up with this idea was really because we wanted to have PDFs as a main portion of what the MegaCloud is, and now we've gone to the, end of the pier, so to speak, in terms of metadata. And so that was the purpose of what we did this for, but now it's expanded because Richard and I have done some really cool tests with this. And, there are many, many fields and many, many libraries, and I don't want to get into the detail, but each of these libraries holds metadata. Richard's going to share with that a little bit with you in a minute. So primarily, we built a tool. It's going to be added to the Metadata Factory suite. It's already there, but it's in a different form. But it is a standalone product. Okay? So I'm going to shut up and let Richard, go ahead and share with him. So everybody click on the top right-hand square that says full screen, and you'll be able to see his full screen.
So I guess maybe a good place to start is just let us know in the comments how many people have done any type of metadata embedding into PDF documents. Is that other than in
MegaCloud, because they are doing some in
right. Okay, PDF stamping.
Yes.
So
right, MegaCloud.
So I'll show everybody this real quick. We're working on a tool that will allow us to see all of the metadata for all of the objects, images. I was hoping to have a video done before we all jumped online, so I'm gonna work on that over the next couple of days. But this is a site. It's exif.regex.info, and this will show you metadata for just about anything. And so what I've done is I have opened up a PDF document, and we'll do a demo here. But what we're looking at with this screen is it pulled up all of the metadata that's embedded in this image. And we can't see it here. And then what I did is I opened the same document, the same PDF document in Metadata to Go, which is primarily it's a PDF. It'll read PDF metadata. And so you can see that we've maintained the metadata that's embedded in the actual document. So you've got metadata that's embedded into an image. And so let me just show so this is our source document right here. It's just it's a PDF document that I embedded into a Word document, put this optimized image in the header, converted it to a PDF, and then we ran it through Metadata Factory. And so let me show you. I'll just grab a source file, something with no metadata in it. And so I'll drag this over here.
So the reason that we use a number of different tools is because we have found, even more so within the image metadata, is that there are a lot of different platforms, i.e. what they call libraries, where the data is stored. Google reads it, but a specific tool might not see it, right? And so one of the things that we were seeing before is that, well, we're saying, okay, the image has this metadata in it, and somebody's using a tool and says, bullshit, there's no metadata in here. Well, they're just using the wrong freaking tool to be able to see it. So what we're sharing you with here is a number of different things here that shows that in different tools, you see different things. So we have a list of all the tools that we're using right now that we'll be sharing. I think Richard put a couple of them in there already for you. There's another one right there. IPTC is another. When you get to the raw link, maybe we can put that in the chat as well, right? So does everybody get the idea of the fact that you can do all of this? It's just you need different approaches of how to look at whether it's sticking, not sticking, and so forth. So if everybody understands that, all 18 of us, give me a yes.
Awesome.
Beautiful. It works just like GoToWebinar. Perfect.
Yeah, I think so. The premise for any for demonstration purposes today, it's when you're optimizing an image, you're putting metadata into an image, and when you put those images, whether it's one image or 10 images that you've optimized, all of that metadata is still in the PDF document, right? There just aren't tools that let you see it all at the same time. And so we're working on solving that puzzle. So
Richard, here's a question that you and I had when we were talking to somebody else before, right? And now that we've given everybody the answer, before we gave this answer, I should have asked, how many of you knew prior to this that the metadata in an image, when put onto a Word document, when then created by and made into a PDF document, and that PDF was sent and put metadata behind the PDF, how many of you would have or did know that 100% of the metadata of that image on that Word document site that was created into a PDF did not get stripped out? Is everybody smarter than me? I don't see. Everybody knows it. Nobody's going to fess up to saying no, huh? Okay, Mike, there you go. We got one taker that's honest, right? But I've said this before, right, in our presentation. So, but how many? I mean, do you guys see how potentially powerful this is? Especially for those that are using Megastacker, RFR, or Backlink. I mean, any of the products, right? I'm not going to get into that part of it because you're all smart enough to figure this out, and we're going to talk about it later. But anyway, I think this is a revelation that for us and our group and what we do with our tools, that very few people outside of us are going to know and have the capacity to do what we're doing because they don't have the tools, number one. And number two, they're lazier than crap. And they're never going to take the time to do what our tools are doing for you in just a split second. Agree? Everybody say yes. I don't care if you agree or not, just say yes. All right, go ahead, Richard.
So let's jump right into Metadata Factory. I will
watch this, guys.
What's that? Cool.
I said, watch this. It's cool.
So where we're starting with all of these metadata tools, because we're all using them a little bit different. We're putting in different. We're putting in XML, HTML, iframes. So you don't always know what piece of code might break it. So what I've done, and I'm recommending, is part of my workflow, is I will create a template first. So let me get log back in here. Right. So what I'll do is I will create a template first. And so we go to, templates, action menu, add template. And then what we'll do is we'll go through the process of adding all the information that we need to create a template. And so I'll just open one up that I've got, that we've just been using for testing. And then we jump into PDF duplicator. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a blank file. Let me slide. Okay. Let's try that again. So I know there's no, this was a screenshot that we turned into a PDF, so I know there's no data in it, but I'm going to load that in, click next, and we'll just do 2 copies, and I'm going to select a template that I've already got done, hit next.
Well, let's go through the fields a little bit and talk about them as well, right? So within here, what we've done is we've added spin text to let you know that you can spin them. The issue with that is we don't know the bottom pit, so we don't know the parameters of what breaks it and what doesn't. So when you guys do this, and like DOS will put in 500,000 spins and it doesn't work, then let us kind of know where it breaks at, because this is still, like I said, in beta. And if you put HTML in, something else breaks it. So we don't have all of the answers to the length of all these fields yet from the testing that we've done. So I just wanted to make that clear that you may find something that breaks, and then you'll have to
or what character string causes it to break. But when you create your bottom line, when you create your template first, and you save it, if something breaks, that field in the template will be empty. And and then you can go back and kind of troubleshoot what you were adding to that specific field. And
so there's a lot of flexibility here too as well, right? You've got your contributor there. If you go back to step 3, you got the other 2 fields that gives you opportunity: creator, public, producer, right? So there's a lot of different areas that we can fill the data in that's kind of going right back to where we want it to go back, is so Google can see, criminal appeal lawyers, Niles, and you've got the creators HTTPS website. So everybody, author, could spin the author, right? So it could be your name, could be your client's name, could be your dog's name, whatever you want, right? But be creative when you're looking at these things and play around, because you'll notice that you're going to get juice to the data that you're putting in here from the meta fields. Sorry, go ahead.
So step 4, publisher, contributor, keywords. I haven't actually tried to max this out. So I'm still kind of messing around with the keyword field, but I typically, I guess in testing I've added probably 10 keywords, and it hasn't broken, and they all will typically list out. Matter of fact, I'll add a few that we'll see, in the new document that we do.
Yeah, if there's room at the end, right? There you go.
And so download, call this.
Well, here's the other part. If you take that template and you modify it like you just did, and you want to save this as a new template, just make sure that you do that. That's all.
Right. finish. And let me open up that zip file.
What do you guys think of this so far? Think you can metadate, a bunch of PDFs? Brian, you can make your VA work really hard now while you just do nothing and watch her work. Mr. Carl.
So let's, I'm going to drag this over. I'll drag it over here first. And so we see P. And so here's our keyword list. And you can see, P. Tutty, Justin, DOS. So it'll list out all of the keywords. This is just, some of the stuff that was in the template. And so what I wanted to show everybody, just in case, so we don't assume that everyone. So this is basic, just looking at basic image information, right? Title, 2 titles, headline, subject, description, and then there's XMP data, which is a different metadata library. And then we've got EXIF data, and we've got some different tools for looking at image metadata, but then we've got EXIF metadata, PDF metadata, which is comes from Adobe, and this one maybe we didn't have any IPTC data in this one, but when we started working with the programmer to to build this PDF tool, he's added all of the current available libraries for places that we can stuff metadata into a PDF, and so this is probably with the number of different metadata fields. This is probably the most robust tool that I have seen so far. Yeah.
Would you guys agree? Have you ever seen? I've searched. I've never seen anything or anything. The ability
Let me
to do as much as we are.
Yeah, we were talking last week about just different metadata, or not metadata, but the different PDF tools. Let me see if I can find one. What was it? Designer .io that I think both Justin and I have used that tool.
Mm-hmm.
And give me one sec. Let me find the document. No, I'm here. I wanted to pull up that PDF that I did with designer.io. Give me one second.
Well, I think with Designer.io, if anybody has it, isn't that the one where you can actually take your entire website and make it into a PDF? Right. So it'd be interesting if Designer is a great tool to create PDF from page links like Blogger posts. Yes. So if we were to do that, it would be interesting to see, what metadata comes with that. But more importantly, we have now the ability to take that information within that PDF and take all the metadata fields and just stuff that PDF with the information that came with the
so
website.
here's one that I did with designer .io. And the thing that and I may have so it let me put let me put in a few different pieces of information, but this was the interesting thing that designer.io put their link. I think it's in here 3 times. So 1, 2.
So how many backlinks is Designer.io getting to in all of the PDFs that are created with their ID as creator in the PDF? Ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's in there twice.
Yeah. Sometimes we saw it 3 times.
But most people, I don't think most people realize that a lot of these tools that we're using to build PDF documents are putting some of their own information, and we want to be able to fill these documents with whatever metadata it is that we want to stuff into them.
Cool.
So any questions?
Nobody's asking any questions yet. If you have any questions, put them in the Q&A, and we'll take a look at those. Do not put them in the chat, please. That's what Mike Filsaime did with Butterfly Marketing. Okay. He's ahead of the time. Well, why don't we show a couple examples of what we come up with?
Let's see. So let's do this. Let's do this document right here. So this is an attorney client that we're doing some experimenting with Spanish, and so we've used all the metadata tools on his images. And but this was the unique one right here. This is a PDF that we got it indexed on archive.org.
So how many of you guys use archive.org for a hosting of your various images, websites, or videos? How many of you knew you could utilize that asset? Or is it a new revelation? Never heard of it. Nice. Awesome. Now, archive.org is a no follow, but you know what? It doesn't matter because we're storing our data there. That data is not stripped while being there, and it carries a PADA of 1.5 million, right? So there's only 2 people in here that have never heard of this. Are you serious? Everybody else has heard, and you use archive.org every day. Awesome. At least 3 people are honest. Okay, so we got a little nugget, which is awesome. Okay, and we got lots more that we're working on, but we wanted to show you this one because it actually showed up in images. The PDF showed up in images with a link to archive.org. I mean, I think that is.
Yeah, and I'll show this. We used
awesome. Don't you?
The image SAAS. So does everyone? I'm going to assume that everyone is optimizing their YouTube thumbnails and putting metadata into their YouTube thumbnails.
Nobody's going to admit if they're not
But
anyway. So,
but I mean, this is. But I'll show you. This was right. We did this on the fly a few nights ago when me, Pat, and JC were chatting, and so I did this while we were talking, and so I just took some images off of one of his clients' websites, just threw together a super quick video. And
we forgot to see if it was okay for us to share that.
Yeah, nobody saw that. So
is it okay?
but anyway, it indexed in 55 seconds, and and my experience has been that when you're adding metadata to your thumbnail. He said it's okay. Your YouTube videos are gonna, they'll typically index very, very quickly.
And yoga's a tough market, especially in the Arizona area. You can show it again. He said it's okay. Yes. Don Roberts. Using metadata in thumbnails and putting text on the thumbnails. We didn't put text on this.
Yeah, I did put the name of the yoga studio. But what I'm doing, and like I said, this was a spontaneous test that we did. But normally, like on stuff that I work on for clients, I will put I'll put the NAP info. If they've got a logo, I'll put their logo on the image, and I'm seeing good results with it. So
awesome. Anybody have any questions so far? Or how about this? Anybody have any tips what you do? I mean, this is an open environment where we're sharing what we're learning, and if there are other things that you can share that you're doing that we can use and test as well. But we're not going to spend a lot of this. Is such an easy deal that I can't even begin to think how I could go 2 hours. I'm really trying, right? So the only thing that I can think of is that when Richard's done, we're gonna take a nothing's showing up. Oh, look, there are some up there. Okay. It didn't show up as numbers for me, Justin. Sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say, so it's still there. It hasn't dropped out. And so what I wanted to test today is I'm actually going to take a video and I'm going to embed the video into into a Word document or some document. Then I'm going to convert it to a PDF. And then I'm going to run it through Metadata Factory. So I'm looking to do some testing with documents with one or more images and some video embeds.
So, Richard, here's kind of like a good question. Will I be able to do search? I'm assuming. Regular search like we search, and replace in the metadata within this tool. So I think you'd have to create a new. If you want to change the metadata within the tool, you can only change, or within the image, you can only do it by redoing it in the tool. You can't go in the PDF itself and modify the data within the PDF. Unless you come back and recreate a new PDF and change the tool within the tool and create that. Is that
once you answer one of the phones, you can click on the right-hand side. There's a green check mark. It makes the question go away.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the Q&A. Okay. Yeah, and actually, with like a tool like Metadata to Go, you can. right? So you can see. So I've opened up, I've opened up this document, and obvious, right? There are some metadata fields that you can't edit. Right, and then, but again, I'm going to have to render this out somewhere, right? Convert your file, edit your PDF. But this tool, this tool here, metadata2go.com, title, author, producer, create date, modify date, and creator, right? It'll let you modify those fields. But like if you wanted to do all of the different metadata fields, you would just have to run it back through Metadata Factory. Probably the easiest way to do it.
Mm-hmm. In the software integration, the ability to upload to best places like in SEO Image Factory, Paul, this is going to be included in the dashboard of the newly termed Metadata Factory. It's no longer going to be SEO Image Factory, so it's going to be on the dashboard on the left, and it'll just be a separate button. If you buy it, you have it open. If you don't, it will just be there. So it will be there. I also have a list that I'll share with everybody that picks this up, where I've got 49 companies or 49 places where we've been testing that will allow us to upload the PDFs, and will also, at my testing so far, the ones that we've done, maintain the metadata on that sharing site. Okay, and I'm going to send that to everybody, and everybody will have that available, and we're going to be testing that in the next week or two. And depending upon what everybody wants, I can have a tool built to automatically do those uploads. But from my initial investigation of this, it's really kind of, to me, too expensive. Just for the convenience. You can have a VA upload it to 50 sites much faster, or not much faster, but a whole lot cheaper than building a tool, to do that for us. But if anybody wants me to continue to look into that, I will. And go from there. But there is the availability, Paul, to do that. Does the words in EXIF and XMP help with word count on a page?
No, not on. I don't think it would on page.
Wouldn't think so. Nothing on page. No. No, I don't think so. Where would be a good place for these to smash the back end out of? I'm not quite sure I understand that. Smash the back end out of what? Where would be a good place for these to smash the back end out of? Paul, can you give me a better definition of what your question is? Okay, Justin, does the EXIF data count to the word count on an embedded WordPress site? No. This is all within the EXIF data. Do clean and stuff for a good analysis of results. Where would be a good place for these to smash the back end out of, to clean and stuff for a good analysis of results? We're just doing it the way you see it right here. We're just making them, we're creating them, we're playing with them. What I am enjoying the most out of this is taking, and let's just think about it for a moment for Mega Cloud Stacker, for those that have Mega Cloud Stacker, right? You take this process, you make a PDF, you create a Word document, you put whatever the one you were talking about, Designer RR, put all that data on a WordPress, you make a PDF out of it, then you take the PDF and you add another PDF to the PDF, and you make another PDF out of that, and you manually, within the templates can do this very quickly. And, by the time that you're done with it, you've got a multi-stacked PDF with multiple data on it that carries all of the metadata and EXIF data, throughout the entire document. And then you take that data and put it in the HTML file and run it through the Mega Cloud stacks. I mean, how valuable is that going to be for you to do that, right? I think it's crazy nuts. You take this in RFR, you do the same thing, and then, as Terry has showed in many cases, you take that, you put it in the HTML, you take the HTML, and you embed the PDF into the HTML, but it's already got all the PDFs stacking in it, and you put that in there, and you send that up to the Cloud Stacker as well, right? Then you take the WordPress, you put that on a document, and the document, you go to the Backlink Factory, and you create all the backlinks to that, you put that into the Mega Cloud Stacker, and you're backlinking it already in the buckets. And then, you've already got the HTML, and you put that onto the Blogger, and the Blogger's got the IoTTT network or the embed network. And you see where I'm going with that? It's endless when you're doing what you can do with this, and you put your images in there, all metadata, your
and
videos,
audio files,
which is different, right? Than your audio files. I mean, we're going to be doing all of these things and creating, hopefully an enterprise, place where everybody can understand how metadata is. So, Paul, hopefully that kind of helped. The recipes are endless, right? So, from what Patrick's easy for you to say. Mirrored stacking, exactly. So one of the things for this, you guys get this, is, we want to hear how you're doing it, the nuances. It's really unsexy. That's my problem, right? I like to get into like what we did yesterday with Matt, and, with the SE Autopilot and stuff, and then with our tools and getting into the Mega Cloud, and really getting down dirty and sexy, and how it can all work. This is unsexy, boring as blah, but it's also extremely exciting. Would you guys agree? I mean, whenever we can find these types of things, we know that they're good. We know that they work. They know that we know that it helps in our process. We can quantify some of the results like Richard has just shared with you, right? To me, I get really excited about this. Or do you guys just kind of think I'm a fruitcake? No, don't answer that, because we already know that answer. But you guys excited about this? I mean, really? Is this something that you can see can help you in your business, for a little bit of money that we're gonna give it to you guys for? I don't know. I can't see anybody not wanting to have it for their process. Any other questions, or any other ideas? Any other, So here's what we're going to do. I like John. John's my buddy, baby. John Q. I love your name, Quackenbush, man. It's so cool. This is ninja stuff, right? Power corrupts. Absolutely. Super cool. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to give anybody anything to buy at the moment, because part of this experience is talking and meeting and sharing with everybody around you. And I think we have, Justin, we got 23 people here. That's cool, man, right? For doing a test. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the presentation right now. So if you're in a room, if there's 6 of you in a room, move to another table. Just double click on the other table. If you have a mic, share your mic. If you have a cam, share your mic and cam. So what we're going to do right now is spend, how much time do you guys want to just hang out and talk? You tell me in the chat, because it doesn't matter. It could be 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20. Tell me what you guys want, and we'll take an average. Put it in the chat. Okay? I got 10. What else? 10, 15, 5. Don, you can't even say your name in 5 minutes, dude. You just want to hog the whole room for 5 minutes. That's all. Okay. Yeah. 2 hours. I'll leave this open for an hour or 2 hours, right? Not a problem. So you can stay in here and talk as long as you want. But for right now, I just want everybody to, how about we take 12 minutes? I'll take the average. Go in, chat, talk, meet each other, turn your cam on. Look, it's better for us to talk and see each other. It's like being at a networking event. We're talking. We're sitting across the table. We're talking. We're how do I get into a table? Lulu, you're already in a table. How do I get? Yeah, you're in a table. So here's Jason. Come on and or Justin, explain how we do this again. So I got to stop the presentation.
Don't stop
as
the
soon as Justin
presentation.
explains
Just,
this, I'm going to stop
turn
it,
off
and then
the
you're
cam
going
and
to go
mic,
and be
or
able to see
turn off
everything.
the recording.
Present.
Just sorry, I've drawn a blank. So
Okay.
basically, when we're in present mode, you get these people that are presenting. Once we stop the presentation, which is what he's going to click on,